screws off of this differential gear. That's one. Number 4. All right, so there's those 4 screws, and with that, diff opens up. Set this on that side. I'm going to take that shim off of there, here, or off of there. There's that pin, and then that cup can come off, and that bearing. And that's it. So this is what we're gonna need to put onto here. And I believe, yeah, they do give us new screws to use, so we're gonna use the new ones. But what I wanted to do was actually try to see where these, where everything's gonna fit. And I won't go all the way down just yet. All right, that should be good. So now, we put this bearing on, and this on this side. And then let's check our fitment before we put everything back together. Okay, so it looks like we are gonna have to move this over to that side just a bit. All right, so I just used a vise. I set this, in the vise like this, and then just tapped on the end here to get that centered up. So that's centered, and now we can put the bearings back on. And actually, we're gonna want to go ahead and use those 2 grub screws on the locker and get that screwed down there. So, gotta try to figure out the fit for these. So I'm gonna pop this in here. Okay. Should be really well torqued down. I'm gonna get the rest of that Loctite off of there, off of the outside. Perfect. All right, let's get the other side on. That in, shim all the way in. Now we can let me clean a little this old grease up. All right, very nice. Oh, sorry, camera. We still recording? Yep. Now we're just gonna get this guy put back on. All right, you guys, so I'm not gonna do the front. I'm not gonna record the front. You guys saw how that rear locking diff is put on. Yeah, that really, the reason it's not rotating as smoothly is because whenever I turn this, and these 2 dog bones are kind of fighting each other, they're slowing each other down just slightly as it spins like that. Free spinning. Whenever I've got power going to it and I give it full throttle, full power is going to go through all 4 wheels at the same time. And trust me, it's going to be better than having that open differential. So I'll get the front taken care of and then put everything back together, and the bearing upgrade will be finished. A couple quick tips. I am here working on the front, and luckily, in order to get the cup out of there, for the rear I had to put some heat on, put a hammer on it, but I also had to take the rear off so I can turn it in order to get something in there to tap that out. For the front, same thing, it was seized up, but I was able to use this extension plus one of these and heat it up like this and avoid all the plastic and tap that out this way. So that was good. And in order to put the cup back on, just had to take the wheel off. And let's see, you can see the grub screw. Let me increase the brightness right there. So let me get this turned right there. So luckily I was able to do all that without taking the whole front off. Something to keep in mind, so quick tip, when you go to put the grub or the cup back on, you'll do that before putting the center drive line in. If you put this on, put the cap on and turn it, and it's not turning smoothly and it's binding up, it's probably because of that cup being too far out this way. What you'll need to do is actually put this on, loosen the grub screw on that cup, and that pressure will actually push that cup further this way. Make sure that you can spin it and it's smooth like this, and then tighten that grub screw down. That's the first tip. The second tip is, while you've got this, and it's kind of a reminder, you guys probably know this, but while you have this apart and that grub screw is loose, if you go to tighten that down and you get to the point where you just barely strip it and you're like, oh, that's fine, I'm finished with the build, I'm gonna put it all back together and it doesn't matter if it's stripped, I'm gonna leave it in there. Don't do that. You're going to have to take it apart again at some point, and it's better to take it apart now before the Loctite sets up and replace it with a good one. What I recommend is actually going and getting a stainless steel set like this. You got all different kinds of grub screw sizes, and it's stainless steel, so it'll be a little bit stronger and it won't be as easy to strip. So if you want to know, let me get this focused. That's the brand, part number, sort of, but you'll be able to look it up and find it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that quick tip with you guys, and yeah, coming together pretty good. Last thing you can check to be sure, if you've got a spool like mine, even if you have one like mine or not, the rear is supposed to be pretty loose. See how much movement there is there? But it's still within the cups. The front, if it's all the way tight and you can't move it, then something's not quite right. But hear that little bit of movement? That's how I know that I'm not binding up and that it's a good fit. This really should just be a little bit shorter. If it was like a millimeter shorter, it'd be perfect, but it is what it is. All right, you guys, after all that work, as you can see, front and rear locked differential. Spinning one tire, all four of them spin. So we're locked in the middle. Obviously, that's how it comes from the factory. Now we're locked front and rear. Full bearing set, upgrade completed all around the car, everywhere except for steering. Now the very last thing to do is to paint that body, and this build is done. Real quick, let me go ahead and take it off with a block so you guys can see it. Really, really smooth. Put it on the ground real quick. Really nice. All right, you guys, we've got one last thing to check, and that is, how is the car balanced and where are we going to put that last battery? Okay, so we know that these two batteries, they're going to go, of course, I'll just set them. Well, no, let me go ahead and snap them in. So 4 pounds, 0.5 ounces, 4 pounds, 2.6 ounces. Okay, so just a little bit heavier up front. Check out this setup. 4 pounds, 2.1, and 4 pounds 2.4. So let's go ahead and set this guy right in here, and let's just see how that 4 pounds 4.9 and 4 pounds 8.6. This also makes the rear a little bit heavier back here. 4 pounds 3.3, 4 pounds 2.9. So with that being said, I may actually not run an additional battery. That battery would not be for this fan. It would actually be for a different fan that would run off the balance port. But I think with that, when I do test that fan out, I'm just going to use the balance port from here. Turn it on real quick, run the car, and shut it off. Just because of... this thing's all out of whack now. There we go. But yeah, just because of that fan, would be drawing power from that battery. But yeah, I am really, really happy with the balance of this thing. 4 pounds basically at each corner with a couple ounces to spare. That means it's a 16-pound car here, but really, really nicely balanced the way it is right here. So you guys can see the layout. I'm really happy with it. All right, you guys, we've waited a long while for this, but it is just about 60 degrees. It's over 50. That's all I needed to go ahead and paint this. I did paint it a ruby red, or metallic red, not ruby red, metallic red. And then I thought I didn't have anything to back it, but then I found gunmetal gray. I was like, all right, perfect, that'll be great. Because when I started putting the metallic red on, I know right now it looks kind of dull and pink, but the film is still on there. It was looking really, really, really light. So I was like, all right, I'll back it with some black or gray. And like I said, I found metallic gray in the cabinet. I was like, all right, cool. We'll do that. So I just finished the final coat. Did like 5 coats of the red and then 2 coats of the gunmetal gray, and looks to be pretty full. I don't see any of the gray coming through anywhere, but you guys can tell I was waiting because there's snow on the ground. It's wintertime right now as of the recording of this video, and today was the first day that I got above 50, and according to my watch it's 63. According to the thermostat, of course, you guys saw it was like 59 or 60, so not ideal conditions, but this is just gonna be my speed run car. It's not a show car or anything like that. It's going on there. So once this dries up, I'll give it, maybe 2 days to fully dry and set up, and then we'll put it on the car. We'll put the clips on. Of course, we'll take all the tape off. We'll put the stickers for the lights. That's the only stickers I'm putting on it, just for the front headlights, because the rear taillights are cut out, obviously. But yeah, it's finished. I'm excited. All right, you guys, so we've got everything hooked up already. This is gonna be the maiden voyage of the GT, all finished up. I did take the foams off and I put the regular hoons back on just to do this test run, because the foams, of course, they, they'll get eaten up pretty quickly. So let me grab this and this. I'm gonna have to make a few adjustments when I get out there. I know probably to steering, but keep in mind as well, the front and rear diffs are locked. So I'll be kind of curious actually how the steering will react, but here we go. I'm not going to be able to hit any full throttle either. That's because I have the perfect pass turned on. I could just tell that thing really wants to take off. It feels very, very controllable. Definitely seems to turn left a little easier than turning right. Sounds like something might be rubbing. Let me take a closer look. Let's see. Maybe on the inside. I'm going to take it in, take a closer look at it, but thank you guys for watching this quick little video.